Hello folks, and a very fond welcome back to the Broken Soul playthrough. And we are still in the hospital. And first of all, well, we've talked to the receptionist and we've got directions to the person that we wanted to see. But there must be some reason to talk to these two guys, so we might as well talk to them now. This guy looks a bit like a little,
my name's George Stobart.
very nervous fellow by the look of it.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
Bunny. Alright, let's see. Let's ask him about his
Do you
nose.
know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, miss. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
We believe you,
Do
fella.
you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
No, I don't think he'll be able to shed much light on anything, but we'll see.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. I've never seen him before.
He has a very strange accent, this
Does
guy.
this gem mean anything to
Full
you?
voice.
Not me, sir.
You don't know much of anything, do you?
Have you ever heard of a guy named Merlin?
No, sir.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Isn't that used to snap the patient's ribs when exploring the abdomen?
I hope not.
Remind us never to have any surgery with this guy.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir.
Do you know what this white powder is?
No, sir.
Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
Well, I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Is that a nasal discharge, sir?
No, it's grease paint.
Alright, so that guy didn't have much of a clue on anything, and he's a doctor, so
See you later.
kind of a Dr. Nick character by the sound of things. Nick Riviera from Simpsons.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
Your face is very pixelated, sir.
Do you recognize this red nose, sir?
No, I do not. This is a hospital, not a circus ring. We minister to the sick in body, not the sick in mind.
Alright, Einstein lookalike. I need to get on our
Do you
case.
recognize the man?
No, sir.
Look at this, Doc. It's a genuine medieval type gemstone.
Yes, so I see. Remarkable.
Does the name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, it does not.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
Sacre bleu! That's exactly what I needed in my last operation.
It is?
I had to improvise with a knitting needle and a couple of corks. If only you'd been on hand at the time. My patient would have given his right arm for it.
I thought it was actually joking then.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir, I have not.
Would you like some white
Does
powder?
this white powder mean anything to you?
No, sir, I do not pretend to know the pharmacist's job.
Here we go, so we've got George, who's a part-time investigator, practical joker, inner, burglar, thief, and now
May I
fake
have
drug
the honor
dealer.
of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
What do you
That's
make
not
of
what the
this
receptionist
picture,
says.
Interessant. I thought I knew the ins and outs of the human body, but this has me beat. If I were you, I'd have the sample analyzed.
Here we go, they do have a surprising lack of medical knowledge to say this is a fancy hospital. Alright, let's go down here. I think you have to talk to the receptionist because there's something to do with you get lost, I think. But I didn't show that because I went and talked to the receptionist first.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
He looks like he's having fun there. Could do on him for hours. From my house.
The door didn't have a sign or label or any kind of identification. It was a life-sized marble figure of a guy in robes. The sculptor had tried to give him a look of paternal authority and concern. To my mind, he looked just plain constipated.
Yeah, a bit like your hypnotism face, George.
There was no way I could improve on the sculpture with the janitor watching me.
No, well, we can't rummage through the bin. I'm guessing that's where he meant to go.
I guess the water cooler was for the use of people lost in the corridors.
Yep. No use dehydrating to death.
Maybe the face of the unaccountably happy domestic had made me unduly suspicious. I mean, I knew it was only my imagination, but the water tasted, well, peculiar.
Ah, so did we get the cup? No?
I guess the...
Yeah. Let's have a look at this guy a little bit closer.
He looked blissfully happy, for no apparent reason.
He might just really enjoy cleaning floors.
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
So this guy definitely seems a few sandwiches short of the picnic.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Mr. Shiny?
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Okay, this man's gone beyond the realms of a few sandwiches. I think he's missing the whole buffet.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you?
No,
I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Whatever you've got with this metal mop-foot is probably a fine and noble thing.
It is? Say, it's not every day I meet someone as crazy as me.
Do you know a nurse called Grendel?
Sure I do.
Is she on duty today?
Yeah, end of the corridor, ward J2.
Well, so we know where she is.
Take a look at this red nose.
Are you a policeman?
No, this is a clown's nose, not a policeman's.
Well, this guy should definitely have some comedy answers for these items anyway.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
Oh, that took a long time. Alright, let's ask him about
What do
this.
you think of this, Sam?
Oh boy. What is it?
A priceless gemstone found in a medieval castle in Ireland. Get me into Marquet's ward and it's yours.
I don't wear jewellery.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one Mr. Shiny.
Do you recognize this pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
I'm getting jealous now. I want my own Mr. Shiny.
Would this tool be any use to you?
No, sir. Mr. Shiny has no user-serviceable parts. Whatever that means.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never ever play with matches.
I know that, but
People get hurt when they do.
sure.
They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up, they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
Okay then. We'll take that into consideration, Sam.
Do you recognize this powder?
Is that dandruff?
No way.
It sure looks like dandruff.
It's plaster.
Ugh.
That's worse.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir. You can pick up all kinds of things in a hospital.
Like nurses, right?
No, sir. Bugs and germs. And fungal infections.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
You have a cold. What you need is vitamin C. And a side order of machine oil.
Look it up. Well, see you later, crazy
later.
man.
Yeah, take care now.
I think he stops you going in here.
The door didn't have a sign or label or any kind of identification.
Let's go in.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
No, it's this thing here. Is the plug, I think, to Mr. Shiny.
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
And we want to see what's in this cupboard.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Come on. Why are you just watching? Ah.
Dr. Stobart at your service.
And we got a doctor's jacket. And now we'll go and check along here. That bit I kind of remembered. Maybe it's down here. Oh, down here. One of them's got to be the ward, come on. There's it down there, didn't there? Why are we getting lost? Ah, well, what way did we come in? That's the way we came in, isn't it? Well, I thought asking the receptionist got you avoided the idea of getting lost. Unless that's a different way in, but I thought that was the same. Anyway, we'll see if we can talk to this guy now.
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bernie, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Great. Well, we don't need to ask him anything else.
So long, Hagenmeyer. Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Can't ask him anything else.
Forget it.
Let's go and talk to the receptionist.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Ah, she'll remember us.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
So, well, we'll try going down this way. I think it's the same thing. But maybe now we'll find the actual ward. What the hell? Well, let's go down here then. Come on, let's follow. It's like a maze. I've just seen on... Oh, here we go. And now it's actually let us go in. This is a strange one. I don't know why. I mean, it wasn't that hard of a one, I suppose, but it's weird how it forces you to go back down there.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Well, who's first?
Monsieur Croquet in bed 2.
What's his problem?
He's been complaining of loss of consciousness. You'll need this, doctor.
So, we get
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
So I've got another bit of female company.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stobart.
Hello, Doctor.
The nurse told me you keep losing consciousness.
That's right. I've had the problem as long as I can remember. It's a real out-of-body experience. Like death, but not so conclusive.
I see. How long does it last?
Just a fraction of a second, and then I recover.
I might not have been a doctor, but I was formulating a diagnosis all the same. This guy was nuts.
Well,
I know exactly what you mean. It's known in the medical field as blinking.
yep.
Is it serious?
Of course it isn't serious. It's perfectly natural.
But just think, 2 seconds every minute. Why, that's almost half an hour every day. 2 weeks out of every year spent in total darkness.
I don't have time to listen to this baloney.
Well, this guy sounds like he's related to the cleaner, basically. I think it's his twin brother.
Which bed is Marquet in?
He's round the corner, in solitary.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know, but the men who brought him in were wearing masks and rubber gloves. Hey, you're a doctor. How come you don't know?
We doctors don't know everything.
Then how come you act like you do?
Fair point.
Has Marquet had any visitors?
Nah, neither have I. That's the worst thing about being in hospital. You feel like the rest of the world has abandoned you.
Well, you know how it is. Life goes on.
Thanks for those comforting words.
Anytime. So, I don't know, should we try doing that?
Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Well, that concludes our diagnosis of
Well,
this fella. I can't be
goodbye
bothered
and
asking him
good luck.
everything else,
Thanks, Doc.
as I don't see him being any use, really. We'll go and talk to the nurse now, and she'll give us, I think, the next patient.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk.
Okay, doke. It's time for the amazing Dr. Stobart to do his
Hello, anybody home?
thing.
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
Right, let's ask him some questions. First about
What's
Nurse
your
here.
impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
But she looks like a
Boy,
vacuum
was that
cleaner.
around Nurse Grendel is a monster.
That was a bit crude.
Well,
Sorry about that,
simply
but
not true.
I had to say that one.
She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
Oh yes, rather.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
Right, well, time to ask you about clown noses now.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
Let's see if he recognises
Do
this
you
guy.
recognize the man in this photograph?
He's been here for 3 months.
No, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer.
Really? He's a dead ringer for my bank manager. Of course, Mr. Soames hasn't got a scar. And he doesn't come from the Middle East. His hair's a lot grayer, too. Otherwise, it's just like him.
Remarkable.
Yep. Remarkable.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor. Is this some kind of test?
If it was, you would have failed. Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Right, we'll try this.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. I'm going to take...
Why?
I'm a doctor.
Right. Well, I don't think it'll be much use for anything else. I'll see if we can actually check the blood pressure here. Or will it just talk about it? Okay, what's happening? The game's frozen. Okay, folks, it looks like the game is frozen. And we're stuck. So it looks like I'm going to have to find my way back to this point and carry on from there. So that's a premature end to this video, and I'll see you guys later when I get back to this point, and we'll carry on this search for this Marquet character. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.